Great way to start the Saturday morning. Yeah. Um,
Always just a burst of energy whenever I see that.
yeah. It always does all the time. Hope you're all doing well, guys. We have got lads to my left, so good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Um, Bit nervous, bit excited. Can't believe it's happening. But how are you feeling?
Yeah. Exactly that. Really. Like it doesn't really feel real, which is an easy thing to say, but it doesn't. Like seeing Forest play at Wembley is something that not many people have seen that of my age, for instance. Even people older than me probably haven't seen it. So, especially the new Wembley, like even my dad hasn't seen us play the new Wembley. So, yeah, it's it's going to be an incredibly special occasion. Regardless, it's a huge achievement, but you get to Wembley, you want to win, don't you? So, you don't want to be going back up the M1 when you've lost. So, it's you want to be winning this for sure. The prize obviously is gigantic, but we have got to get past Huddersfield, who are a very good side that I think a lot of people are kind of overlooking, really, and we've got to be wary of them. But we've beaten them twice this season already, so we can definitely beat them again. And yeah, it's like a cup game. It's just one game. You're not playing for points. You're playing for progression to the next round, and that went well under Cooper in the FA Cup. So why can't it go well again, in my opinion? So let's just cross our fingers and hope that it goes to plan for us, because yeah, I'm incredibly excited, proud, nervous, all those emotions really.
Yeah, I mean, what a season has been from bottom to Wembley. It's like it
Yeah,
probably will if we go up because obviously Huddersfield are a very tough side. I'm not going to deny that. I even said it
mm,
throughout the week on a few videos and talk sport that they are quite a well organised, well drilled team. So
yeah,
I mean, if Forest have to win tomorrow, they will have to be on their game.
yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, the first game against Huddersfield was pretty much the start of the post. I don't want to say his name era, and obviously weren't Cooper, but it was Stephen Reid. But we could see that the building blocks were there, and yeah, brilliant 2-0 win away. Excellent header from Graven. It was a deflection. The second goal. The second league game was a frustrating one. We have lost Huddersfield this season, but it was very narrowly. But ultimately, at Wembley, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter how you lose. If you've lost, you've lost. So we've got to make sure that doesn't happen again. But we've played them since, and I think that does fill me with confidence that it's not like that was the last time we played Huddersfield. We've played them since, and we beat them and played really well again. And obviously, we went behind in that game, and within the same half, turned it around. So really, really, really pleased about that. And ultimately, it was part of our FA Cup fairy tale. This is why the season's been just so ridiculously good. Like, we're not just got to the playoff final for the first time ever. We had an FA Cup run to the quarterfinals, and we didn't just get lucky and play like a League One side, another Championship side. We played top teams, European level sides, and then the one team we didn't play that were in the Premier League were a team that are going to be one game away from the Premier League either way. So, huge achievement, and I think it's kind of apt that we're playing them again in the playoff final, really. But I think it will put us in good stead, to be honest.
It is unreal that we are playing them. I mean, Huddersfield. I mean, when we have the ball season, I mean,
Yeah,
obviously post actually and pre Cooper winner. Obviously, December we left frustrated because obviously we should have beat them, but we didn't. I mean,
no,
it was unreal, and obviously that FA Cup one, it's like it just if we said that at the start of the season, we'd be bottom, Cup one, or everything what has happened, you'd be slapping your hand off like that never happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah.
It is a massive day. I mean, I know Champions League final, but obviously
There's a bigger game going on this weekend than that.
yeah,
Much
it's
bigger.
Mansfield Port Vale today, the big game.
Exactly. That's even bigger than Liverpool v Real Madrid. Like 100%.
But yeah, I mean, I forgot what I was doing there. I think the nerves are starting to get better.
It's fine. I completely understand why.
Yeah, but I mean, do you feel like tomorrow? I mean, it's gonna be like a lottery tomorrow. I mean, it's just one game. I mean, the pressure will be immense, and the fan base. I mean, we sold out all our tickets as well. I mean, it's just going to be crazy tomorrow. Like, it's
Yeah,
just going to see a load of,
exactly that.
yeah.
You can't even really describe what we've done this season. It's
Mm.
you don't get the seasons like this very often, and I think under Cooper we could have obviously more of it, but not many teams have this kind of pleasure to watch their team do this well. Either way, it's been a season that I'll look back on with huge, memory for fondness,
Mm.
joy. There's been so many incredible moments. The fact that I've been at, pretty much every home match, it's been even bigger a thing because I've been able to experience all these famous moments. There's been some amazing games on the road as well. Obviously, what I think will go down as a legendary third away kit. Some of the moments we had in it, even though it is incredibly ugly, really. It's a very special shirt to I think most Forest fans now. But yeah,
That's
huge.
the bad thing because we're playing in a red shirt tomorrow. So, I mean, I know a lot of people called it for us to play in a away shirt, but it's a shame that we won't be able to watch them in the away kit because we're so used to watching them at home. It's like
Yeah,
sometimes you get a glimpse of that away kit.
yeah. I kind of, I'm pleased we're wearing red because I think we should be wearing red at Wembley. Like, I just think it would have been wrong if we hadn't. However, I don't go on the road, unfortunately. I've never actually seen the away kit in person in a match, so it would have been pretty cool to see it at least once. But ultimately, I'm pleased that we're wearing red, and Huddersfield are wearing stripes because, like, normally when we wear red, we don't they don't normally wear stripes because I always think it's weird the kit selections against Huddersfield because like when it's the third season obviously they've been at the Premier League. The first season, I remember the two games when we were the away team, we wore all red, but this season we're not allowed to wear all red, which is quite a strange rule. So we wore the yellow kit, and then obviously at the City Ground they wore their like dark blue and white kit. So I felt like we were going to do what we did at Huddersfield this season and wear an away kit. But yeah, it's good that we can actually wear the proper shirts representing each club, really. You're muted, mate.
I didn't realise I mute then. Fair point that is. I mean, it is nice to see us playing red. I mean, it has been nearly 31 years since we last played at Wembley, and obviously it's our first time to Wembley, as new Wembley. So
Yeah,
it is nice that we have broken the seal now that we are going to Wembley. I mean, it'd be unreal. I mean, what sort of team would you expect to play tomorrow? Would it be like? Obviously, we're all going to be expecting the similar sort of Cooper team.
mm.
The probably debate that you're going to have is who would you start up front?
Yeah. I don't mind either way who plays because I love Savage and I love Keenan, and I think Keenan will stay with us regardless of what division we're playing because we've seen how the recruitment's been on point. We've managed to attract some really good players for great fees. I just can't get over that signing of Steve Cook for free. Like, what an absolute steal that was. And then and obviously we got Surridge for that 2 million, Davis alone, we got Panzo as well, which I know we bought for actual money, but he wouldn't have been that much. And yeah, I'm really confident going into the summer with recruitment, because ultimately if we don't go up, even if we do go up, to be honest, we've got a chance of losing someone like Spence, which is very unfortunate. If we go up, that will boost our chances hugely of keeping him and probably Jimmy Garner. I think all the other loan players, I think Zinkernagel, Davis, and even Lowe, the only thing that might stop us signing Lowe is the fact that he's injury prone now. I think we can keep those three, to be honest, and I'd like us to, even Lowe, because ultimately he's a great player, and I don't think he's been injury prone his whole career, so it's just bad luck this season. He's had 2 recurring injuries, which it's a shame, but obviously Colback's just done phenomenal to replace him. Honestly, I think to answer the question, I remember it's funny at the Champions League final today. I remember when Spurs got there and Kane was injured, and they brought Kane back for the final, and he didn't really do that much. And he obviously he hadn't played the games before, but Keenan did for us. So I just think it's kind of similar. Do we start our main man because he's now available just in time for the final? And I think ultimately, we should do, because he's the battering ram, isn't he? He's a bully up front. It's exactly what you want in a striker. Obviously, Surridge is more of a finisher. And Davis obviously can do that as well, but Davis has got a lot more about him, in my opinion. So if I had to choose, I think I would probably say Keenan.
That's a fair shot, that is. I mean, he touched up on the recruitment as well, and I know all these players that we are talking about, like Keenan Davis, Jed Spence, Jimmy Garner. I mean, that how well we have been this season in terms of recruitment. Like, Dave Murphy just came in, ripped up the Forest handbook, what's been like it for like last 8 or 9 years, and done like, we're going to do this, we're going to do it this way. And you know what? Even if I thought after the start we had as well, and Murphy doing it his way, I thought, we might not be up to where we are now. But you know what? It just goes to show that the Murphy effect is having an impact, and for people to come in, carried it on in January, got in place that talk to you. When we signed him, we were like, why are we signing some 32-year-old? Like, but you know what? He's been a stellar signing. Like,
incredible.
To get that sort of quality, it's unreal. I mean, to get Surridge in, who's proven to be a great asset. Panzo, obviously, for the future. Davis, he proved a lot. Adata as well. So this season as well, it's just been unbelievable on and off the pitch.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think it's an interesting debate. Like, I think if Murphy hadn't have come in, we'd have been as good as we are, because I think, even if we just had Cooper and not Murphy, I think we would have definitely been very, very good. But in terms of recruitment and the way we've improved players, I think it might have been a bit different, to be honest, because Dane Murphy, even though we don't see it like in person, he has done a huge, huge job this season, with the recruitment. And ultimately in the summer, I remember we left it late, and it kind of, we all thought, well, this is typical, isn't it? We're doing really bad. Last season we struggled. We started really bad. It's typical that we've not signed players. But what it was is Murphy came in midway through the transfer window in the summer. He came in like July, because we only organised it in the middle of July, when obviously the transfer window and pre-season in some form starts in June time, really. So that's why we had to leave it before we could sign. Yeah, that's pretty funny, actually. That's why we had to leave it before we signed players, because Murphy, he couldn't just come in and sign loads of players. He had to get to know the system and that. And yeah, I think we've seen that ultimately, even the summer signings have been really, really good. It's absolute levels above what we've done in the past for recruitment. You look at the summer transfer window from 2 years ago; it was an absolute embarrassment. Besides McKenna, it was embarrassing. So yeah, we just shows yet again in a different way. Regardless, not even on the pitch, we've come a long way. But yeah, honestly, I've seen a comment saying, if we go up, we need to get better players. Yeah, definitely.
There's that one.
Yeah, I agree with it. Because yeah, we did it in the cup games against Liverpool and particularly Arsenal and Leicester. But ultimately, I don't think can we do that week in week out. I
Yeah,
think we
that's
would, we'd need even better players, and I think a lot of these lads would stay and play really. But this is what happens when teams get promoted. You will probably sign someone you would never have thought we would have signed. Like Fulham, whenever they've gone up, they've signed players that you wouldn't have expected to go to Fulham if they're in the Championship. So, but in the Premier League, they come to a Premier League side. So I could see that definitely happening. And we probably will keep a few of these loanees. The players we've already got will definitely stay around. But honestly, I just think, yeah, we will need to get more players in. And I'm not overly concerned about that. I think we would survive if we went up. It is the second season that concerns me a bit because that always tends to be the case. You fear for Brentford next season. Will they be found out? Will they struggle like a lot of teams do? Like Huddersfield did when they went up. They struggled the second season. Sheffield did. It tends to happen quite a bit. Yeah, Leeds, and they just got away with it, unlike Huddersfield and Sheffield United. But then there's some teams like Brighton and Burnley and Palace. Obviously Burnley went down this season, but they've stayed up a lot longer than I think anyone would have thought they would have done, and they haven't even got like a ton of money. So it is doable, regardless of what your situation is. I think who knows what will happen, but we've got to get there first of all, haven't we? So
yeah, I just about to say, Maurizio just said, but one step at a time. First and foremost, let's get into the Premier League.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
with the loanees, I know that. I mean, Pete put on earlier, would Jed stay? I mean, I had this conversation quite a few times with different people. Like, if Jed uses his head and think, yeah, I'm going to be playing week in, week out at Forest, you'll stay. Whereas if he listens to his heart, he'll just go there, probably play, 1-2 games a month, and that.
It wouldn't be good for him. I see why he'd want to go to someone like Spurs because they're playing Champions League football next season. So, that's a huge pull. And, you look at their right-hand side of players, they've got that Kulusevski guy who's been really good for Spurs. And they've got Matt Doherty as well, I don't particularly rate. So I think Jed would actually play if he went to Spurs quite a bit. But ultimately, it's a huge step. After being a bit part player at Borough, he has an amazing year with us, and he goes all the way up to Spurs. It would be quite a huge jump. And obviously, we would be biased, but I think it would be best for his career to stay with us, where he's loved, appreciated, exactly what he wasn't at Middlesbrough. So I don't know why he'd leave, and he clearly loves it at Forest. His family love it at Forest. You see these things with Jed Spencer's mum. They're well into the club, which is great. And I think that could play a huge part. Yes, ultimately it could be down to the clubs that make the decision, but I think if you were to ask him, do you want to stay, he'd say yes, quite confidently, to be honest.
And after all the videos of his mum celebrating in the first half, I mean,
yeah.
Spencer reminds me of Fifth Anderson.
Yeah.
And just to come on this one, I'm meeting the person that talked to one. Unsure if it's going live or pre-recorded, so I'll probably post it out when I know myself. Who from the Huddersfield team are you most scared of?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, they've got some great players. I think we're quite an underrated side, really. I think overall we are better than them, but we can't think it's going to be easy because you look at their team, the amount of times Jordan Rhodes has scored against us, down the years, that hat trick he got for Wednesday was, that will live long in memory, unfortunately. I think if we're talking about most, the players with the highest potential, you've got the likes of Sorban Thomas, Lewis O'Brien, Harry Toffolo, I think, has been really good this season. They play a back three just like we do. So, they've got some really, really good prospects coming through that are already at a very high level. And I think, I think both of us should probably say, if we were to go up, you could say that we will be one of the favourites to come back down again. But I think both of us would stand a chance of surviving. So, we've got to be wary of them. But ultimately, as Cooper would say, we've got to focus on ourselves and, just get the job done, hopefully, which I think we can do. And yes, he definitely is.
Yeah, he is. And I mean, they were homes as well.
Yes.
Obviously,
Yeah.
it's sheep shadow and that, but yeah, I mean, it's one of them ones. I mean, they have got some tricky players. I mean, we've got the Great Wall of Shine. It's like the best attack against the best defence in the way tomorrow. It's like
Yeah, I agree.
It's like it will be a good encounter for it. I mean, what's your scoreline? Do you think it will be tomorrow?
Oh. I hate predicting scorelines. I just never know what I always say like 2-1 because it's just difficult with Forest. But I can see them scoring, but I just at the same time, like I just feel like I don't see us losing, but it would be you just can't predict. The player final is so difficult to predict. Any final, but it's difficult because it's two very good teams going head to head. Either of them could easily beat each other on their day anyway. I'll go like 1-0 Forest or 2-0, something like that. We'll keep a clean sheet. I've seen people say this. I'd absolutely love it if Joe Loddy scored. He ain't scored all season. He comes off the bench, scores against his old side in the playoff final, which he would have been. I think he would have been part of the playoff final team as well, but I don't think he played in it for Huddersfield. So yeah, it'd be great, especially when we've seen that he's been improving recently. But yeah, honestly, I'm seeing lots of different score lines, but it's really difficult. I really don't want it to get to penalties again, but if we did, I'd trust Bruce Samba because just because of how good he is.
Yeah, I mean, I said it the day after the Sheffield United game. I was like, Bruce Samba made up for that mistake against Stoke completely.
Oh yeah. Honestly, since that Stoke game, Samba's come back even better as a player and a person. His attitude's so much better because, he's still got that Housery vibe to him, which he always will do because he's Bruce Samba. But he needs that. That's part of his personality. It's part of his game. Just the way he comes across. The mind games he was doing to those Sheffield United players was just absolutely top tier stuff. Just what a fantastic character. But he's not as big as a risk taker. V Stoke, what he did was stupid. It was coming because there was a few times where he did similar things that you just thought, why are you doing that? And I haven't seen him do that since he came back. And I think what really brought it home to him is he didn't just come back after his ban. He sat out for like another 3 more games. And especially given the fact that Horvath played really well, I think it really G'd Samba up, and we've seen that he's now even stronger than he was, which is, in ways, it's a very good thing that he got suspended.
Yeah, I do agree with that. On Samba, he has came back a lot more better.
Yeah.
As a goalkeeper, and it seems like that he always had that side of him that we all know that, but he seemed to curb it.
Yeah. Well, he's matured a lot, hasn't he, since he's come back?
Definitely as well. I've gone for a 2-1 Forest. I said it all week, like it'd be a 2-1 Forest, and I just got visions of Jimmy Garner putting one top corner. Top.
I'd take anything, but I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I just had a dream, and obviously, good luck to Mansfield Town today.
Yeah, it'd be good to see them go up.
yeah, really, I mean, just be a big weekend if Mansfield go up with Cluffy, then we go up.
Yeah,
First
and it's
time,
ironic. It's Nigel Clough as well for
yeah,
Mansfield.
and obviously first time we've been to Wembley since Cluffy days as well. Ironically, so
Yeah,
hopefully we get a really good weekend.
big
And
big week for Nottinghamshire.
yeah, and I agree to that comment as well, Rich. Yeah,
Yeah, they have a bit of a history, don't they?
yeah, yeah. So I'd like to say thank you for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
Do hit his YouTube channel. No, not physically hit his YouTube channel,
Yeah,
but do hit his onto his YouTube channel and
yeah,
that and his socials.
yeah.
Um,
Close to 3,000 subscribers. So
yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Even more of a reason to get back to 3K. So I'd like to thank you for watching and goodbye.